Okay guys, so today we're going to read a book and it's called The Giving Tree by Shel Silverstein. And before we start reading, I want you guys to think about something. So I want you guys to think about a time that you have ever given something to somebody because you wanted to make them happy. Or you can think about a time that somebody has given something to you and it has made you happy. I want you to think about how you felt. I want you to think about how it felt to give something to somebody and make them happy. And I also want you to think about how it feels when somebody does something for you to make you happy. It doesn't have to be a gift, giving a gift. It could just be maybe giving a compliment, like I like your shirt, or I like the way your hair looks today. It could also just be giving somebody a hug when they look like they need a hug. So I want you guys to sit and think about that for a second. Just think about how you feel when somebody does something nice for you. Okay, so now we're going to start reading. So, The Giving Tree by Shel Silverstein.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You betcha.
Once there was a tree,
Yeah, let me give you, I know it's before remotely.
and she loved a little boy. And every day the boy would come, and he would gather her leaves. Okay, so the word gather, some people might not know what the word gather means. So the word gather means to take something that's scattered and put it together. So you're going to pick up things, put it together. So maybe if you were picking apples sometime, they were scattered on the ground or scattered in the tree, and you picked them or picked them up and you put them all into a basket. So they weren't together, and you picked them all up and you put them together. Okay, so I want you guys to think of a time that you have maybe gathered something. Maybe it was picking apples or picking berries or even picking green beans out of the garden. You're gathering those. So just think of the time that you've ever gathered something. Okay, so this little boy is gathering the leaves off of this tree. So he would gather the leaves and make them into crowns and play king of the forest. He would climb up her trunk. So whenever it says climb up her trunk, I want us to make sure that we know what the trunk of the tree is, okay? Some people might not know that. So the trunk of the tree is like this part of the tree. It's the base of the tree, and then also the roots of the tree. So the little boy is climbing up the trunk of the tree. So whenever we're reading a story, we want to make sure that we are picturing what's happening in the story so that we make sure we know what's going on. So whenever it says that the boy is climbing up her trunk, I want you guys to picture yourself or somebody else climbing up the trunk of a tree, okay? Or picture this little boy climbing up the trunk of this tree, okay? So he would climb up her trunk and swing from her branches. So remember, keep picturing. So picture him swinging from her branches and eat apples. And they would play hide and go seek. And when he was tired, he would sleep in her shade. And the boy loved the tree very much, and the tree was happy. But time went by, and the boy grew older. Okay, we're going to take a pause again for a second, and I want you to look at the word older and see if you see a little word inside of that bigger word of older. Yeah, so the word old is inside of older. Okay, so you have old and you put an ER on the end. So ER, when you put an ER on the end of something, that's called a suffix, okay? So the author isn't saying that the boy is just old. He is saying that the boy is older than he was, okay? So, and the boy grew older. And the tree was often alone. I'm going to take another pause and look at the word often. So do we know what often means? The definition of often is to happen many times, okay? So it means that it happens frequently or it happens many times. So this means that the tree was often or quite a lot alone. Then one day the boy came to the tree, and the tree said, "Come, boy, come and climb my trunk and swing from my branches and eat my apples and play in my shade and be happy." "I am too big to climb and play," said the boy. "I want to buy things and have fun. I want some money. Can you give me some money?" "I'm sorry," said the tree, "but I have no money. I have only leaves and apples." "Take my apples, boy, and sell them in the city. Then you will have money, and you will be happy." And so the boy climbed up the tree and gathered her apples and carried them away. And the tree was happy. But the boy stayed away for a long time, and the tree was sad. And then one day the boy came back, and the tree shook with joy. And she said, "Come, boy, climb on my trunk and swing from my branches and be happy." We're going to take one more pause, and we're going to look at the word joy. So I want to know if anybody can think of a word that means the same thing as joy. Okay, I'll give you a little bit to think about it. Think of a word that means the same thing as joy. So the word that I'm thinking of is happy or happiness. So so happiness and joy kind of mean the same thing. So whenever you have two words that mean close to the same thing, that's called a synonym. Okay, so joy and happiness are synonyms for each other. So I'm going to reread. The boy came back, and the tree shook with joy, and she said, "Come, boy, climb up my trunk and swing from my branches and be happy." "I am too busy to climb trees," said the boy. "I want a house to keep me warm," he said. "I want a wife and I want children, and so I need a house. Can you give me a house?" "I have no house," said the tree. "The forest is my house, but you may cut off my branches and build a house. Then you will be happy." And so the boy cut off her branches and carried them away to build his house. And the tree was happy. But the boy stayed away for a long time. And when he came back, the tree was so happy she could hardly speak. "Come, boy," she whispered, "come and play." "I am too old and sad to play," said the boy. "I want a boat that will take me far away from here. Can you give me a boat?" "Cut down my trunk and make a boat," said the tree. "Then you can sail away and be happy." And so the boy cut down her trunk and made a boat and sailed away. So sometimes somebody might not know what the word sailed meant. So if you go back in the sentence and you look at your context clues, and context clues are words or sentences around the word that you don't know that can help you figure out what it means. So we're going to go back and reread this and see if we can figure out what sailed might mean. And so the boy cut down her trunk and made a boat and sailed away. So it says that he made a boat. So sailed means to get on a boat and use the wind to travel on the ocean water. Okay? So he made a boat and he sailed away. And the tree was happy, but not really. And after a long time, the boy came back again. "I am sorry, boy," said the tree, "but I have nothing left to give you. My apples are gone." "My teeth are too weak for apples," said the boy. "My branches are gone," said the tree. "You cannot swing on them. I am too old to swing on them." "I am too old to swing on branches," said the boy. "My trunk is gone," said the tree. "You cannot climb." "I am too tired to climb," said the boy. "I am sorry," sighed the tree. "I wish that I could give you something, but I have nothing left. I am just an old stump. I am sorry." "I don't need very much now," said the boy. Just a quiet place to sit and rest. I am very tired." "Well," said the tree, straightening herself up as much as she could. "Well, an old stump is good for sitting and resting. Come, boy, sit down and rest." And the boy did. And the tree was happy. The end. Okay, so I hope you like the book, and I hope you guys think about how it makes somebody feel to do something nice for somebody else. And maybe you can do that more often, because sometimes people need people to do nice things for them, especially during this time.